Let's walk through this really zoomed out. The state says it's going to prevent mass shootings. The court says there's no statistical fact that even proves that's possible. It's not a valid conclusion, and you can't restrict rights on speculation. That is so powerful. Again, every single state that has a magazine ban, this can now be cited in challenges. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the gun channel where I not only tell you what's going on, but I also tell you what we're going to do to fix it together. Now, what I'm going to bring to you today is incredibly important. The Oregon decision has come back, and there's been a preliminary injunction granted in the state level case. Now, we've covered a lot of this. I'm going to break it down in 1 second. I'm just going to go a quick word from our sponsor, SDI, and then we're going to lay it all out because there's some amazing stuff that you need to hear in this decision, or at least this injunction. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to modify and upgrade your own guns. And if you're looking to turn a hobby into a career, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. Their online programs cover everything from gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking finishes, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, all the tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. There's never been a better time to turn a hobby into a career, so what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to SDI for making this content possible. My brothers and sisters, what we are about to walk into is the actual injunction order from a state-level judge in Oregon. This is the same guy that extended the TRO last week. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below. You can download the PDF of the actual injunction on our website, secondpress.co. It is free right down there in the description box below, and we'd love to see you join that. And if you are new, I would love to have you guys jump in the fold. We need as many people as we can to keep building this channel, keep pushing forward with the Second Amendment, and any consideration for that, I thank you so much. But enough of that stuff. Let's get into this because there's some things inside this decision which are massive and have tremendous implications across the board in the gunfight going every state. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're looking at, this is from the Oregon Judicial Department. This is important because it's from Oregon, not the federal. This is the Oregon state level. This is the GOA lawsuit. All right, so this is from Robert Rashio. This is the same guy who extended the TRO. The court will issue a preliminary injunction under Oregon Rule of Civil Procedure 79A on Ballot Measure 114. Section 11, known as the large capacity magazine prohibition, will, until a full trial, can be held on complaint for declaratory and injunctive relief. So the magazine ban is now on hold. That's incredibly important. So now the magazine, slow your roll. We got to go through an entire court system on this one because the judge broke this up into multiple different independent cases. That's important to understand as we go forward. But right now, the magazine ban is a hold, and that's where we're going to get into the really incredible details that the judge puts in this order. This is massive. I can't oversell this. But let's keep going. The court will maintain the temporary restraining order under Oregon Rule of Civil Procedure, which I mentioned, 1 through 10 until the state provides notice that it's prepared to deploy a permit to purchase program. Now that's the other part here. The permit to purchase program, that's the whole, yeah, you can't buy a gun until you have a permit, but there's no system to have a permit, so you just never have a gun. That's also been put on hold. This is going to wait until they can actually produce something that they will then get sued for, to be quite honest with you. But let's continue. Upon receipt of notice, the court will hold a preliminary injunction hearing within 10 days to determine if the program can be constitutionally deployed. Okay? Now we're getting into the really important things that the court brings up. And remember, this is in an actual court document. This can be cited in other courts in other states. This is the important piece. Oregon Constitution provides the right for the people to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state. Oregon Constitution, Article 1, Section 27. There's your history. There's your text. And that's on a state level. That's not even federal. This judge is about to build a case that can be pointed to across many different instances. But let's continue. As pointed out by the defendants, the Oregon Constitution has content independent of that of the federal Constitution. Of course it does. Therefore, any irreparable harm of Ballot Measure 114 must be considered separately under Oregon law and is not dependent on a federal determination. That's the important piece. This is Oregon, okay? That's why I put that in there. But now, let's get this. The case law does not suggest that the firearms development is frozen in time at founding, as is argued by the defendants. The defendant is the state in this case. In fact, the courts have assumed development over time. That's firearm technology development. As such, the court finds that the firearms today are in direct descendants of the firearms from the time frame of statehood, multi-shot handguns, and rifles. Are you seeing the pattern that this is developing? The type of magazine is essential to the protective power of a firearm, as was testified by one of the defendants' witnesses. This part right here, precedent. This is where precedent comes in. Again, we're talking about magazines. The precedent in Oregon shows no historical statutory bans on the size of magazines or on the types of firearms until 1933. That's right around the time that the NFA was instituted. It's almost like there was a national push right around that time of the progressive era in the United States. Anyway, let's keep going. All preceding restrictions were on use. Prohibitions on riding horses through town, terrifying neighbors with firearms. This is incredibly crucial right here. Mr. Marshall, for the defendants, again, the state, is right that mass shootings deliver a special type of terror in our heart and minds, and that the majority of voters in Oregon believe that banning large capacity magazines would help to relieve a grave and immediate risk to the health, safety, and well-being of the citizens of the state. The facts do not support their conclusion. This is the judge. The facts do not support that conclusion. That is some damning writing right there from the judge in an official court document, again, which can be cited by other states. Do you see what's happening right now? What's happening is this judge is saying, I hear your concern. It's not based in fact. It's based in terror. It's based in fear and emotion. It's not based in fact. Clearly, the facts do not support the conclusion. And I got one more thing for you, because this is a big one too. Further, the court finds that there is less than 1 in a million chance of a person being a fatality in a mass shooting in Oregon, and even less with an offender who is using a large capacity magazine. That the large capacity magazine bans promote public safety is mere speculation. Massive. The court cannot sustain a restraint on a constitutional right on mere speculation that the restriction could promote public safety. Let's walk through this really zoomed out. The state says it's going to prevent mass shootings. The court says there's no statistical fact that even proves that's possible. It's not a valid conclusion, and you can't restrict rights on speculation. That is so powerful. Again, every single state that has a magazine ban, this can now be cited in challenges. The big powerful part of all of the gun control moves that they're making is if they fail, they now have precedent against their case. This battle is continuously rolling on. We're going to pass this on to the next generation because of things like this. It is a slow burn, but we will get back to where we need to be. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.